Uno kay apat.
Hindi pa yata nag-invest ng RBC pa.
Hindi pa yata.
So, okay, you can start. Ano sabi ng JSL?
Kapatid na kayo.
Tapos na pa.
Hindi, sabihin mo lang, pinasabi ko, thank you. Okay, let's start. First, I'd like to commend those who are the associates who are present here. I hope there will be others who would be interested. I said I commend because it's never too early to start. Now, in your career, habang bata pa kayo, I even encourage you to work on your CV this early, and you put in the trainings you have attended. It will go a long way as you progress. Kung saan man kayo, if you plan to stay longer here, or even if you go outside. And if the career you will choose outside would have bearing on arbitration or even on trade, for example, for this training, the employer will be appreciative of this training. And having said that, investment treaty arbitration, or sometimes called as parang investor-state arbitration, is quite peculiar in several aspects. And I don't think there's even a training here in the Philippines about investment treaty arbitration, or ISDS in general. ISDS is Investor State Dispute Settlement, the dispute resolution system. Okay. And even if we try to obtain trainings abroad, it's quite expensive, and the trainings are quite few also. So mahirap siyang and if we train abroad for this practice, aside from being expensive, you will still have a challenge in terms of deciphering how to apply that to the Philippine setting. There will be nobody who will tell you, or anybody for that matter, on how it will be relevant, how it will be applicable in the Philippine setting. That's why I said from the start, I commend you for showing this interest, because you will have this edge over other practitioners. Okay. When we talk about dispute resolution in general, arbitration is just one of the modes of dispute resolution. Now, in the outline that I made, that's why it said overview on ISDS, investor state dispute settlement. It's color coded. Carla, does that comply with your color scheme?
Hindi kulay yung
Alam mo.
The maroon is not the right color.
Yun lang nilabas nung word. Okay. That's strictly for CMT discussion. Manilagay ako dyan. I trust this will not come out. Okay, because as I said, there's no training in the Philippines on this. And as Carla stated a while ago, we, for the first time, will write an article about investor state arbitration. And we are in the hunt for an account that will involve investment treaty arbitration. Okay. This is a very big ticket item. So you will know that those who are a bit advanced in their training on arbitration would uh, be proficient also in investment treaty arbitration. Now let's start with arbitration. So it's as I said, it's a mode of dispute resolution. When we talk about ISDS, the investor state dispute settlement, there are various modes of dispute resolution, as you know it, di ba? In the Philippine setting, you have okay, let's start just for context. Let's start with mainstream. Mainstream dispute resolution is our litigation. So what's the contrast to mainstream? Contrast to, oh, may point one na si Kobe. The contrast to mainstream, which is litigation, is alternative dispute resolution. So when you talk about ADR, it's again, it opens up a very wide spectrum of modes. Okay, so you have negotiation, mediation, conciliation, whatever it is that will involve a third party neutral. Okay, and at the the rightmost of that spectrum is what? Arbitration, because arbitration is it results in a final arbitral award. It finally resolves the dispute. So tapos ang boxing. So like litigation. So it's enforceable at law. Okay. So let's go to our basic law on arbitration. We have unlike other jurisdictions, we don't have a specific law on arbitration. The arbitration is contained, or arbitration law is contained, is integrated in our Philippine ADR Act of 2004. Okay. So just for purposes of this discussion, we need to understand, let's go back to our understanding of what domestic arbitration is as against international arbitration. So what's domestic arbitration? Domestic, may kwentuhan si Madam, domestic arbitration is an arbitration that is not international. Okay, very nice definition. So what's international arbitration? International arbitration is when yung four, di ba? One of the parties resides outside of the Philippines, the parties agree. Okay, the substantial part of the obligation would have to be performed in a third state. So as a rule of thumb, any arbitration that would involve an international element, malamang international arbitration yan. So when we talk about investment treaty arbitration, let's forget muna about domestic. Why? Because essentially, this is an arbitration between a home state, an investor of a home state, and the host state. Okay? So in that context, it's necessarily international, right? But is it international in the context of the Philippine ADR Act? I venture that it's not. Okay, because let's go further. That's B. What's the subject of, so we have dispensed with the black color arbitration. So B, subject. Kaya sabi ko color-coded
May
yan.
color coding.
So it's not just to comply with CSP's rule.
Grabe naman. You have to know that, guys, by heart.
Okay. Subject. What's the subject of investment treaty arbitration? It is investment. Okay. So let's go back to the Philippines, just so you'll be able to understand the context. Okay. Let's look at the Philippine ADR Act from the lens of what commercial arbitration is. Okay. How is let me start by asking, saan galing yung commercial in the Philippine ADR Act. The definition of what's commercial in the Philippine ADR Act is based on the UNCITRAL model law. Okay? An UNCITRAL model law is the basis of our international commercial arbitration. That's chapter 4. Tama nga. Okay. And you have chapter 3 of the Philippine ADR Act on domestic arbitration. And even in domestic arbitration, segue lang to, even in domestic arbitration, some provisions of the UNCITRAL model will apply. Diba? But not all. But in terms of Philippine International Commercial Arbitration, by chapter 4 of the Philippine ADR Act, the entire, and even more, the entire UNCITRAL model has been adopted. Okay. So, what does commercial mean? The definition actually what's commercial is I think it's a footnote in Article 1 something of the UNCITRAL model law. So that's really the source. So can someone please define what commercial is? It's a very expansive definition. Si Maha, kaya na pa tumatango. Sige nga, Maha. Look at the footnote. For those who have experience handling arbitration cases with me, you would of course remember kailangan mo palagi ng citation. Hirap pang widow. Okay. So what's the definition there? Classroom atmosphere lang to, tayo lang. So please feel free to and take this opportunity. This may not happen again.
By the way, the one who's teaching us is a professor, a certified professor for Philippine SciArt Charter.
Okay lang marinig. Tayo lang naman. But first may
May nag-login mo.
Tapos Marcelo, ano?
Hindi, yung vice account ni sir yung
May naglagin sa account ka.
Hindi, si Marito nila nakaka-access no.
pinalagin ko kanina dyan sa last time.
Login
in na lang.
Login na lang ulit tayo.
Wala. I intend this to be interactive kasi. So, kaya wala tayong PowerPoint, just have your outline para makita niyo how it really, I will illustrate it later. So, naghintay kasi ako may mag-volunteer gumawa ng PowerPoint wala.
Post na siya.
Ha? Host na. Okay. Okay, nawala.
Hindi, nawala kayo
I-share mo, i-share
Dapat
mo.
ito lalabas.
Ah,
Di ba sa
i-share,
ito,
share
dapat
screen.
yung
Yes, sir.
monitor ko yung lalabas doon.
Ayun. Stop. Wala kanina sir. Ay.
Okay. Okay. So for purposes of understanding investment treaty arbitration, okay, we know that investment is a species of commercial and arbitration is a species of ISDS. Okay? So, tapos na yung dalawa. Third is, ano ibang kulay dyan? Treaty. So, since this is a treaty is the source, whether it be substantive and sometimes also procedural. So, it's the source of rights and obligations. Okay? Totoo nga, Carla, yung color code din yan.
Yes.
Because
Matutuwa po si BOP.
the three would have each color signifies a different context. Okay. So it's a treaty. That means our knowledge on public international law would be relevant here. Okay. So as a treaty, that means rights and obligations here are determined and arbitration proceeds based on also how a treaty is to be interpreted. So that said, Vienna Convention would be relevant. Okay. So Vienna Convention. So you have our general rules. You have your pacta sunt servanda, di ba? That the contract obligations must be performed in good faith. You have the rule that ano ba ang rule dyan sa Vienna Convention? That a treaty takes effect upon its entry into force. Diba? So let's wait. Okay. So here's our Vienna Convention on the law of treaties of 1969. So this would be relevant use of terms, rule on non-retroactivity. So the entire Vienna Convention would be again relevant in investment treaty arbitration, especially articles 11 and 12 about consent. Okay, we'll discuss about consent later. Okay. So going back to our Philippine ADR Act in terms of international commercial arbitration, okay. Lagi ko tong tinatanong when I lecture siguro for those here who have listened sometimes. When will our Philippine ADR Act or RA 9285 apply in international commercial arbitration? Yeah, we have chapter 4 sa Philippine ADR Act. Pakibukas yung lahat, especially those who have not yet taken an arbitration course. You look at chapter 4 on international commercial arbitration. When will it apply? And by the way, do not confuse international from foreign. Okay? Kasi foreign would be foreign arbitration against local arbitration. We're talking about domestic arbitration as against international arbitration. Okay, so again, my question is, when will the Philippine ADR Act RA 9285 apply in international commercial arbitration? So of course, one would be if the parties stipulate. Diba? So otherwise stated, if I put the question in some other way, when will, in international arbitration context, when will the Philippine ADR Act be the lex arbitri? Okay? Lex arbitri, that's the law of the arbitration, di ba? Okay. So in the Philippines, our law of arbitration is RA 9285. When will it apply? One, when the parties stipulate that that will be, di ba? That will be the applicable arbitration law that will govern. Okay? For example, if there's a dispute between hindi to ano, hindi to investor state. Example lang, there's a dispute between a Vietnamese company and a Singaporean company, and the parties agree or stipulate that the Lex arbitri will be Philippine ADR Act, because they're thinking anyway that's based on ancestral model, so we better make it applicable. They can do that. They can agree. So that will be an instance, regardless kung saan gagawin yung arbitration, ano. So that can be an instance where the Philippine ADR Act is the Lex arbitri, or the governing arbitration law by agreement. Second is when the Philippines is the seat of arbitration. Why? Why is seat relevant? Again, ulitin ko, especially for those who have no background yet. Oh, no. Seat is a juridical concept. It does not have reference to the particular venue where hearings are conducted. Okay. Seat is a juridical concept. That's the nationality of the arbitration. That's the nationality of the award. Okay. For example, if a Philippine company and a Singaporean company indicates in their arbitration agreement that the seat of arbitration shall be Indonesia, then Indonesia, the award will be an Indonesian award. It will not be a Philippine award or a Singaporean award. It will be an Indonesian award. Okay, that's the seat of the arbitration. And seat is very crucial because after the arbitration proceedings, the Indonesian arbitral award is rendered. It will be in Indonesia where a case can be filed to, not just kasi it can be enforced anywhere. To set it aside. Di ba? Nasa New York Convention. There, your New York Convention would be relevant, di ba? So the petition to set it aside will be filed in the jurisdiction of the seat. Okay? So that's another instance when possibly a Philippine arbitration law will be applicable. If the parties indicate that the seat of arbitration will be the Philippines, then it will, after an arbitral award is rendered, it will be the Philippine courts that will have jurisdiction to set aside that award. Kahit saan man ginawa yung hearing. Okay? Kaya yun yung that's the relevance of your SADR, the Special Rules of Court on ADR. Kaya meron diyang petition to set aside. That's very specific. Yung petition to set aside an arbitral award refers to a petition to set aside an international arbitral award or a foreign arbitral award. Diba? Hindi yan ginagamit kapag domestic. Diba? Because when domestic, you call it petition to vacate. Diba? But for international commercial arbitration, you call it petition to set aside. Okay. Another possible instance, gusto ko lang linawin muna to before we proceed kasi this is this basic understanding. Another possibility where our Philippine ADR Act will be applicable is even when the seat of arbitration is not the Philippines, but when the arbitral award is sought to be recognized or enforced here, then the Philippine ADR Act will apply. And because of Philippine ADR Act, the Special Rules of Court on ADR will be applicable. So nandoon yung rules for enforcement and recognition of foreign arbitral award kasi seat is somewhere else. Di ba? So separate rule yan. Hindi to international arbitral award. It's if you look at the SADR natin, the Special Rules of Court on ADR, yung international, yung to set aside an international arbitral award, it means an international arbitral award seated in the Philippines. Kaya nga tatlong rules dyan eh. Di ba? Sa SADR. Pag domestic, petition to vacate. Okay? If it's international in the sense that Philippines is the seat, but it's an international arbitration because nandun yung any of the four requirements that will make it international arbitration. So petition to set aside. Diba? Third is enforcement and or recognition of a foreign arbitral award. Okay, so if it's a foreign arbitral award, you did not talk about setting it aside or vacating it. You talk about enforcing or recognizing it. And of course, the opposition to it. Diba? So, again, even if the seat is not in the Philippines, but that our foreign arbitral award is sought to be enforced here in the Philippines, then our Philippine ADR Act will apply. Okay? And our Philippine ADR Act, as echoed in the special rules of court on ADR, follows the New York Convention grounds. Article 5 of the New York Convention. Sorry, medyo academic, but we'll go somewhere later. Clear pa so far? Okay. I mentioned New York Convention because it's very, very possible that an arbitral award in an ISDS or an arbitral award in investment treaty arbitration will have to be enforced using the New York Convention. Okay. Let's go to some regimes in international investment treaty arbitration. Okay, so what's the basis? What's the basis for the substantive basis for investor state arbitration? Naman lagay natin ko dyan. IITs, International Investment Treaties, sometimes called International Investment Agreements. So pwede siyang, it can be a bilateral investment treaty, BIT, or a multilateral investment treaty, okay? An example of multilateral investment treaties would be yung mga taga-IP. Yan si Ritz. Ritz, so you'd be familiar with the GATS TRIMS. TRIMS, di ba? That's a multilateral investment agreement. Okay. Sometimes, although procedural, kino-consider na multilateral investment treaty din yung exit convention, but that's largely procedural. Yung mga substantive multilateral investment treaties would be sa US you have yung NAFTA, di ba? And then for energy, sino ba yung energy dito? There's that ECT energy energy charter treaty. Okay.
Energy department.
Okay.
The engineer, he's the engineer.
It's nice you're here.
You're happy.
Oo. Let's not look far. Let's come home. Philippines, ano yung mga multilateral investment treaties na involved ng Philippines? ASEAN, APEC. Di ba? I'm not sure kung buhay pa ngayon yung BIMP EAGA. Di ba yung BIMPIAGA? Okay. That's, ano ba yung B? Basta Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines. Basta East Asia yan. Okay. And in fact, yung European Union, di ba? EU is kasi may investment, may mga investment provisions. Okay, BIT, bilateral investment treaties, that's between two states. Multilateral if it involves more than two states. Now, there are some jurisdictions that have what they call as a model BIT, model siya in the sense that it's a template. And a sample would be, let me see. The US has its own model BIT. 2004 model BIT, which means if state wants to have bilateral investment treaty with the US, magpipiliin lang lang sa land. So that's essentially the contract of adhesion. If, di ba, if we put it in our context. Okay. So this is an example. US has its model BIT. Okay, let's go to procedure. Okay. Kaya sinadya ko yung ihiwalay para di tayo malito, no? There's the substantive kasi this would be the source of rights and obligations. Okay, substantive. Procedure, that means how the dispute involving those substantive areas will be resolved. Okay, and I divided it into again, pag dito kayo malilito, institutional and ad hoc. So, volunteer, what's an institutional arbitration? Sadya ko to para maintindihan nyo yung correlation. Diba? If you take, as I said earlier, if you take this course abroad, it's quite, kasi may assumption kasi doon na you are very familiar with arbitration. So, what's institutional arbitration? O baka gusto nyo definition muna, what's ad hoc? Ad hoc is
arbitral proceedings not administered by an arbitral institution.
so ad hoc as defined by the Philippine ADR Act, di ba? It's ad hoc arbitration if it's not institutional.
Napakagaling
Di ba? So institutional arbitration is an arbitration that is administered by well, at least in the Philippine ADR Act, it's administered by an institution that is registered with the SEC and is regularly and permanently performing arbitration